So far, the results that we have gotten back have included all of the fields in the document. And if that's what you want, then there's no need to specify anything else. But in fact, with both the find and the findOne command, you can specify what fields you want to include or to not include. And the way we do that, we use the same find command, either findOne or find command, which has as its first argument a filter that identifies what you're looking for. And we add a second argument. And this argument is also a JSON object. And it includes the beginning is the field, and here we know we want name, so that's a field, and then either a 1 or a 0 to specify you want it included. Well, name I want to include, so I'll give it a value of 1. Type also I want to include, so I give it a value 1. Notice how I'm separating these with commas. And egg I want included, and so I specify that with a 1. So here I've said, give me this result and include these 3 fields. So if I copy this and paste it here in the Mongo shell, click enter, and it runs. So notice that it returned exactly the same object, and we can verify that with that unique _ID value. So it's exactly the same document, but now it's only including name, type, and egg, and the _ID. So _ID is always included unless you specify not to include it. So how I would specify not to include it is to add another field, and this will be the _ID, and here I'm going to put a 0 because the value 0 specifies not to include it. So I can do that here as well by just doing the up arrow and going back, adding a comma, _ID, :0, and now click enter, and now it doesn't include the _ID. So that's how you project to include fields. Now I can do the same to exclude fields. So I'll go back to that original query that was the findOne, and now I want to do everything except 2. So again, I'm going to add a second argument that is a projection, opening and closing curly braces, and I want to do multipliers, and I want to exclude it, so I don't want to include it, so I'll give it a value 0, and weaknesses, and again give it a value 0. So I take that and paste it and click enter, and there we get it all. So now notice how I get all the fields except those 2 that I specified not to get. And that's how you either include or exclude fields, so you can specify what you want that return value to include.